Hey, boys and girls, today we're going to be doing Module 4, Lesson 4, using grouping symbols. So in the last lesson that we talked about in Lesson 3, we went over PEMDAS and we said GEMDAS, right? And the P for PEMDAS was parentheses, but when we said GEMDAS, that was a G for grouping. We're going to talk about those grouping symbols today. In the example that's given right here for number 1, it says Justine is making jewelry for her friends. She makes 4 of the bracelets shown. To determine the number of beads she needs, she writes the numerical expression 5 plus 3 plus, plus 6 times 4. Okay? Now, this problem is missing the grouping symbols, and here's why. And these steps here are going to kind of lead you into seeing why. If we were to solve this problem as it was written using our order of operations, we would first have to do 6 times 4, which would give me 24. So that would leave me with 5 plus 3 plus 24. And then now I can just add straight across, and that would actually give me 32. Okay, I'm going to tell you 32 is not the correct answer for this problem. All right, so just be aware of that as we're going on. So part B says, which part of Justine's numerical expression models the number of beads she uses for one bracelet? So this was our picture of our bracelet with the green circles, the yellow squares, and the blue triangles. Those are the amount of beads we need for one bracelet. So it's 5 plus 3 plus 6. Okay, now, if we wanted to take this whole value, the quantity of this, and then multiply it by 4, we need to put that into parentheses and then do the multiplication symbol. Because again, if you want to find an answer first, you want to put that into parentheses. Okay, because that's the first thing that's going to be solved is whatever is inside of parentheses. All right, so now if we want to know how many beads are actually needed to make the 4 bracelets, now we do what's inside the parentheses first. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 6 is 14, and then you're going to take 14 and multiply that by 4, and that's going to give you 56. All right, so that's the biggest difference here. This was 32 if you've just did it with order of operations, but if you read the problem and you thought about what you needed to have first, then that would have absolutely been by using those parentheses. And the last question there is really just what we did here with putting the parentheses here and saying, how can you write the expression with parentheses that it models to make sure that you're figuring out how many beads are needed for 4 bracelets. So again, this parenthesis is 1 bracelet, and then this is times 4. And this is kind of like the lesson we did a few days ago as well, where we were trying to figure out the relationship of one object and then another object, which was maybe 4 times as many or 3 times as many or 2 times as many. Okay, so for our next example, it says Mr. Finn makes gift boxes with 4 green bracelets, 1 gold bracelet, and 1 necklace. Each bracelet costs $2 to make, and each necklace costs $5. He has $90 to spend on gift boxes. How can you model the number of gift boxes Mr. Finn can make using a numerical expression? So if you look over on the side here, next to the word problem, they show you what parentheses look like, and they show you what brackets look like, and they show you what braces look like. And we will be using all of those this year, so just be prepared, okay? So part A, it says, write an expression in parentheses to represent the total number of bracelets in one gift box. So we need to look at the problem, and it says, makes gift boxes with 4 green bracelets and 1 gold bracelet. So we know that there are 4 and 1. That's going to tell us how many bracelets are in each box. That's going to go in your parentheses, okay? Then for the brackets, it says write an expression in brackets to represent the total cost of the bracelets in one gift box. Well, we knew we had 4 and 1 in each gift box, right? And we know that each bracelet was $2 to make. So to find the total cost for the bracelets, we're going to take 2 and multiply it by the value of 4 plus 1. Now, some of you are like, well, I know what 4 plus 1 is. we want to build this equation from the inside out, from the parentheses out to the brackets, out to the braces, and anything else that we might need. And that's the way we always like to build our expressions that are multi-step like this, from the inside out. All right. So then for the braces, it says write an expression in braces to represent the total cost of the bracelets and the necklace in one gift box. Okay. So if you're looking here, we already had in the brackets 2 times the quantity or the value of 4 plus 1. Okay. And now we also want to add on the cost for the necklace. Okay. So when we're adding on the cost of the necklace, okay, we're putting this 5 here because the necklace is $5 that goes in the box. Okay, so then it says write and evaluate an expression to show how many gift boxes Mr. Finn can make with $90. So we know what's inside of the brackets already. We have the 2 times the value of 4 plus 1 and then adding 5. We want to say, okay, we had $90 and we're finding the cost of each box. So if we want to know how many total we can make, we're taking 90 and dividing it by whatever the cost is going to be to make each one of these boxes. So now I'm going to move over onto this side and I'm going to rewrite our equation. Excuse me, my text box. I'm going to make it pretty big. Okay, so we have 90 divided by, and I'm going to put a division symbol like that for now. Okay, then we have a bracket and a brace, the number 2 times parenthesis 4 plus 1 parenthesis bracket plus 5 and then my brace. All right, so let me make this look like an actual math problem here. Okay, so I did this just to make it nice and clean so you can see what it will look like. Now, you'll notice that we have parentheses, brackets, and braces in this. So when we solve it, we start in the middle, which is the parentheses. So 4 plus 1 would be 5. I like to rewrite the problem, and I'll say 90 divided by the bracket and then the brace, 2 times 5, because this was 5. We already solved what was in the parentheses, so we're done with the parentheses. Oops, this is supposed to be a bracket. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'll put the bracket here, and then plus 5, and then I'll do my brace. Okay, so now since I'm on parentheses, I'm doing the bracket. So 2 times 5 is 10. So then I rewrite the problem again, and I say 90 divided by the brace. We did 2 times 5 plus 5 and then the brace. Okay. Now I have my grouping symbol again. That goes first again. So 10 plus 5 is 15. So now I have 90 divided by 15 left. Now, some of you may know that mentally. Some of you may not. So now you might have to do your long division. 15 into 90. Okay, so I would say they're close, kind of, but I always like to start with 5 if I'm unsure, because 5 is right in the middle of the road. You know if you have to go higher, if you have to go lower. So I say 5 times 15 gives me 5, carry my 2, it gives me 75. So let's try one more, 15. If I add on that 15, that gives me 90. So I had 5, and then one more makes 6, and that gives me my 90. Okay, so when I subtract, my answer for this problem would be 6. Okay, so then when I look at the question again, and it says, how can you model the number of gift boxes Mr. Finn can make? Well, here's how we did it with this long multi-step expression, and I found out that he can make 6 gift boxes if he has $90, okay? These are a little bit long, so I am going to do one more example with you guys. So one second. Okay, so we're going to use this check for understanding as our next example. So it says, Liza is making 3 necklaces. For each necklace has 4 pink beads, 6 purple beads, and 10 blue beads. Use parentheses to rewrite the numerical expression. 3 times 4 plus 6 plus 10 so that it models the number of beads Liza needs to make 3 necklaces. So I'm going to use the text box again here, and we have 3 times 4 plus 6 plus 10. And I'm spacing this out a little bit just to make it a little bit easier to see. Okay, so if we want to know how many beads for 3 necklaces, first you need to know how many beads are in 1 necklace. So when I'm trying to figure out where my parentheses are going to go, I know that it's 4 plus 6 plus 10 because there's 4 pink, 6 purple, and 10 blue beads. So then now if I solve this, then I multiply it by 3 because this will tell me how many are in 1 necklace. And then this will tell me if I take that value and I multiply it times 3, then that'll tell me how many are in 3 necklaces. All right, so 4 plus 6 is 10, and then 10 plus 10 is 20. So if I'm solving, I would say 3 times 20, which would be 60. So we would need 60 beads to make 3 necklaces. Let's try another one just because that one was a little bit smaller, and I'm looking for something that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge for you. So looking at these problems 4 through 9 that are shared here, I want to go over these. So these can be a little bit of a challenge. It says use parentheses to rewrite the expression to have the given value. So we need to figure out where parentheses are going to go so that if I solve this, I'm going to have 9 be my answer. Now, there would be no reason to put parentheses around the 7 and the 5 because if I put parentheses around the 7 and the 5, I'm still solving it the same way. So we want to try and find a different spot. So I'm just going to put them around the next 2 numbers and say, okay, how about 5 minus 4? Let's try that. So if I'm solving 7 times 5 minus 4, and that number I can't see because I drew over, is a plus 2. Sorry, let's look at my workbook. If I was solving this problem, first thing I would do is parentheses. 5 minus 4 is 1. So now I have 7 times 1 plus 2. Okay, that would be multiplication first. So then I would have 7 plus 2, which would give me 9. So that's actually the correct answer. Let me show you why the next one might be incorrect. Let's say I did 7 times 5 minus, and then I put in parentheses 4 plus 2. Okay, if I'm going to solve this problem, first thing I would do is parentheses. So 4 plus 2 is 6. So then I would rewrite 7 times 5 minus 6. Now, next, I would do 7 times 5, which would be 35, minus 6, which is actually equal to 29, which is way too much. So all you would do for these types of problems is just plug in parentheses, solve it, and see if it gives you your given value. If it doesn't, put them somewhere else. If that doesn't work, find another place. But that's what we're looking for on these problems, is to just plug in parentheses so that when you solve it using your order of operations, your GEMDAS, that it's going to give you the correct value in the given problem. All right. Hopefully these helped you a little bit, guys. I'll be teaching this lesson today, and I'm here if you have any questions. Best of luck, everybody. Take care.